Springing into a new season with more snow. March break winds down and spring kicks off with a fresh blanket of the white stuff covering the capital. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Spring has officially sprung, but looking outside, you wouldn't know. We are still in the throngs of sweater weather and even winter boots. 6 more centimeters of snow falling on the capital today, and it looks like winter isn't ready to leave us. CTV's Josh Morano joins us now. And Josh, is it fair to think that some people have snowfall fatigue?
Yeah, Stefan, many residents I spoke with today, it feels like it's been going on forever. And they're not entirely wrong, with an expert saying this winter has been longer and more relentless than usual. Another 6 centimeters of snow falling across Ottawa on the first day of spring, adding to what has already been a heavy season. According to Environment Canada, the capital has now seen more than 215 centimeters of snow since early November, when the first flakes fell of the season. It's a long stretch that's kept the ground covered in snow for months, leaving many residents dealing with what's often called winter fatigue.
Things started turning cold in November, and they've been cold in November, December, January, February, and my gosh, even March. 5 months in a row with colder than normal. Even for Ottawa residents, that's tough to take.
Philip says he's been keeping track and notes there have been 110 days and counting where residents in Ottawa have seen snow on the ground. And while many are expecting spring weather soon, Phillips predicts Old Man Winter isn't done with us yet. We may have to wait until April before the snow is gone. Stefan.
All right, just a week or so more.
Give or take.
Give or take. Thank you for this, Josh. Let's go live now to our Jackie Pers with more on the snow and when it will taper off today.
Well, Stefan, the good news is that we could be at the end of it for today. It started to clear out about 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon, and it looks like most of the weather system has moved through. Saturday, the good news is we are getting a break from all the snow, high winds, precipitation. Right now, temperature sitting around -3 here in the capital, -2 in Gatineau and Montreal, -3 in Mont-Tremblant. Overnight lows about -6, mainly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, we are getting up to about 5 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud, but hang on to your winter gear. Unfortunately, we are likely going to be seeing snow overnight Saturday into Sunday. How much, we will tell you in just a bit. Stefan.
Thanks, Jackie. The Ontario government wants to put a lid on soaring ticket prices for concerts and sports. The plan to cap the price at face value is a lesson learned from the Taylor Swift frenzy and a warning of what could happen in the World Cup. CTV's Natalie Van Roy is live with more. Natalie.
Well, Stefan, we all know someone who has paid way over market value for tickets these days for concerts and sporting events like Taylor Swift and those World Series tickets in Toronto. But now the Premier says he wants to put a stop to it. Manaski Sharma recently bought resale tickets for Bruno Mars, which is coming up in Toronto. Not as expensive as Taylor Swift, but still a markup. And while Sharma is super excited for the upcoming concert, it wasn't cheap.
I was checking, original price tickets were hovering around about $150. We paid close to $300 per ticket. So I mean, it's not terrible, but at the same time, it's definitely, you know, it's still a markup on there. That difference I could definitely spend somewhere else, like, you know, in hotel or renting a car.
The Premier's proposed changes to the Ticket Sales Act would apply to anyone who resells a ticket and any platform that facilitates a resale. And the move comes only months ahead of the FIFA World Cup games in Toronto. Now, meanwhile, organizations like Live Nation have been responding tonight. In a statement, the company says we are in favor of measures that promote fair, transparent ticketing and curb exploitative resale practices. We'll have more on this tonight at 6. Stefan.
All right, looking forward to that. CTV's Natalie Van Roy reporting live for us. Thank you, Natalie. Some Ontario patients may have to pay out of pocket when they book an appointment with a nurse practitioner. It is the result of the province missing a federal deadline to create a policy to fund medically necessary services from nurse practitioners. Ontario Health Minister Sylvia Jones originally pushed Ottawa to close what she described as a loophole in the Canada Health Act. It allowed some nurse practitioner clinics to charge patient fees for primary care. Ottawa has since declared that nurse practitioner services are equivalent to what doctors provide. Provinces will begin incurring penalties for non-compliance next year. Ottawa Police are looking to expand the use of body-worn cameras following a pilot project launched last year pointing to real-life cases where the technology is already making a difference. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us live now with more on this. Caitlin.
Yes, Stefan, Ottawa Police Services is among the last major jurisdictions in Canada to implement body-worn cameras largely due to cost. Right now, about 30 officers are already equipped through a pilot project, and the plan is to expand that across the force. This moment captured on an officer's body-worn camera shows an elderly woman found alone in the cold asking for help, and the camera is able to translate in real time. It's part of a pilot project launched last year following recommendations from a public inquest into the death of Abdi Rahman Abdi in 2016. Police say the cameras save time, improve accountability, and can cut down on time spent in court. Now police want to expand the program, adding 850 more cameras to equip all frontline officers by 2027 at a cost of $30 million.
It's about public trust and accountability. You know, people can see that there's an objective record, whereas before there wasn't. So you know, that was one of the things we heard from the community. They want this technology in the hands of the officers. Really to show that we're being proactive and getting it out there was really key.
The union has been calling for body-worn cameras for years and is urging other levels of government to help cover the cost. Another 200 officers are expected to be equipped with body-worn cameras later this year. The plan will be voted on by early next year. Stefan?
All right, CTV's Caitlin Wilson reporting live for us. Thank you, Caitlin. Soft soil conditions are adding another $10 million to the price tag of the new Ottawa Police Station in Barrhaven. The facility is being built on Prince of Wales Drive near Strandherd. Last May, police announced the opening would be delayed until 2027 due to issues related to the soil at the site, which were not discovered until construction. Police say the issues have since been resolved. The total expected cost is now more than $187 million. Every year in Canada, millions of birds die by crashing into the glass on the outside of buildings. And now that spring is just around the corner, Safe Wings Ottawa wants you to know how you can help prevent this. And we want to warn you the display and our footage does show birds that are not alive. In the capital, they estimate 250,000 birds are lost every year to collisions. Many believe high-rises are to blame, but 99% of crashes involve low-rise buildings and residential homes.
There are easy solutions, putting markers on windows, using the windows judiciously, closing your curtains at night, not having your plants right up against the curtains. So everybody can help out. Even if they just treat one window where they know birds have hit, they can help save a bunch of lives, which is going to be good for the environment and the earth.
Safe Wings Ottawa has been holding this annual event for more than a decade. A longtime Ottawa business is preparing to close its doors for good. It's the end of a long chapter for mail-in framing, closing after nearly 5 decades in business.
The industry is not growing. People are buying things ready-made, they're buying things online, and the custom framing industry is shrinking.
The store on Prince of Wales Drive specializes in custom framing, printing, and lamination. It also features artwork for sale from local artists. The business has been operating in the capital since first opening its doors in 1978. Their last day will be later this month on March 30th.
Iran has a long history of striking abroad. It goes back to the 1980s, the attack against the Marine barracks in Beirut.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, a new warning from Iran, what it means for tourist destinations around the world. Here's what you need to know. Check out electronic music group Thievery Corporation tomorrow night at the Bronson Center Music Theater. Doors open at 7 p.m. This show's a 19-plus show. Head over to the venue's website for tickets. A live check on traffic right now. Things moving well in both directions on the Queensway. Bayswater also flowing smoothly this hour, as well as Parkdale. If you are coming downtown, though, the Nicholas exit is backed up.
Spring is in the air at the Ottawa Home and Garden Show. It's back here at the EY Centre. We're with Corey from Procore. Now, Corey, we're all excited about spring, but it comes with its challenges, right?
Of course. This is the time of season where everything's melting. You have the rain coming down, and that's putting a lot of pressure and hydrostatic pressure against your foundation walls. So if you have any leaks, any drips, any cracks, this is when the water intrusion will occur.
Okay. If you have any questions or concerns, Corey's your guy. Come to the EY Centre for the Ottawa Home and Garden Show on right now.
Nearly 3 weeks into the war in Iran, a new threat today from that country as the U.S. announces it's moving thousands of additional Marines into the region. Iran's military warned that parks, recreational areas, and tourist destinations around the globe will not be safe for its enemies. That's renewing concerns of militant attacks far beyond the region. CTV's Abigail Beeman now on the security threat and what can be done about it.
As reported by the state broadcaster, Iran's top military spokesperson warned Friday parks, recreational areas, and tourist destinations won't be safe for Tehran's enemies around the globe. CTV News reached out to a number of top tourism destinations and organizations in Canada, as well as law enforcement. Canada's spy agency told CTV News the terrorism threat level from Iran has not changed, still at medium, meaning that a violent extremist attack remains a realistic possibility. The most likely scenario for serious violence involves a lone actor whose intent to mobilize is unknown to authorities and who may be inspired by the Mideast conflict.
Iran has a long history of striking abroad. It goes back to the 1980s, the attack against the Marine barracks in Beirut. In the 90s, there was an attack against a Jewish center in Argentina.
We have to obviously be concerned because we know that the IRGC has capabilities globally. They work with organized criminal groups to do targeted killings through transnational repression.
This international security expert says he is most worried about the upcoming World Cup, with thousands attending and the eyes of the world on the U.S., Mexico, and Canada.
I know already that counterterrorism agencies and those that are working on security for the World Cup have had to factor in the Iran dynamic now. And also Iran is qualified to play.
Canada's Tourism Industry Association declined an interview, but told us in a statement they're concerned about any threats that could impact travelers, tourism workers, or destinations, saying they're monitoring official Government of Canada advice carefully and encouraging others to do the same. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
I have never felt better after this juice detox, and I even lost 10 pounds. What you do is you drink apple juice for a full week straight.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, taking on healthcare misinformation, one social media post at a time. A group of Canadian doctors leading the charge. Here's what else you need to know. The hit Broadway musical and Juliet is coming to the capital. The show is taking the stage at the National Arts Centre next week from March 24th to 29th. Visit the NAC's website for tickets. Another live check on traffic right now. This Friday of the formal last day of March break, feeling very light heading into the weekend. Things moving well in both directions along most of the major corridors of the Queensway. Bit of a slowdown at Woodruff. We'll be right back.
It's spring, which means the Ottawa Home and Garden Show is back at the EY Centre. We are with Paula from Kitchen Girl. You specialize in kitchens and bathrooms.
Yes, and I actually believe in keeping things very simple for the homeowner, and that's why I created 3 packages: the economy, the standard, and the premium, and they're meant to keep the homeowner at ease during the project.
I love that. Something for everyone here at Kitchen Girl. You can see Paula at the EY Centre during the Ottawa Home and Garden Show.
Coming up tonight on CTV after the news, E-Talk starts at 7, The Big Bang Theory at 7:30, Next Level Chef at 8, 911 Nashville at 9, and Grey's Anatomy at 10. Now for another check on the weather forecast. Jackie is live in studio tonight on this first day of spring, Jackie.
Stefan, it doesn't feel like the first day of spring with the amount of snow we got. The good news is it has tapered off, and for the rest of the evening into tomorrow, we are anticipating mainly cloudy skies with a little bit of some sunshine. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. A gray, gloomy day in the capital. A lot of slushy streets and roads as well. -3 is the current temperature, but things will be warming up by the time we get to tomorrow. A closer look now, temperature-wise, kicking things off around -9 for tomorrow morning. Mainly cloudy. The sun's going to start to appear around the afternoon. We're getting to a daytime high of 5 degrees, and that's as good as it's going to get for our Saturday. So we'll have really one decent day for this first weekend of spring. Now, -7 for the valley, 3 degrees a daytime high with mainly cloudy skies. And as we look towards our friends in the Seaway, also going to looking at 3 degrees for the daytime high, mainly cloudy skies. We did mention snow. It is on the way, and this will be starting Saturday early evening into the afternoon. So around 8 o'clock, we could start to see the light flurries moving through around Brockville and Kingston, Ottawa. Light flurries moving through. It is going to continue well into the overnight hours. And 4 a.m., we could see between 5 to 7 centimeters of snow moving through, and it will lighten up by the time Saturday midday goes through. But for the most part, it's going to be a snowy one, so we're not quite done with our winter weather just yet. Sunday, the daytime high is at 2 degrees. We will hover around the freezing mark from Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday. So yes, the chance of flurries will linger for most of the early start of next week. But you can already see that overnight low for Wednesday is -13. So it will be quite some time before we see mild temperatures return here in the capital.
Weather is brought to you by Manotick Tree. Complete tree care from start to stump.
So, Stefan, I know everyone's looking forward to their March break returning here, so keep an eye out. We do want to plan accordingly for the roads because for Saturday evening into Sunday, we are expecting snowy weather, so plan your route accordingly.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jackie. And here's a look at the stories you're checking out right now on CTV News Ottawa.ca. Kind of sticking with the weather theme a little bit. We know it's the first day of spring, but we are continuing to experience winter-like conditions. You'll notice that we have an update on the bus cancellations from OC Transpo. The freezing rain really hampering that LRT system. We now know just how many trips had to be canceled, bus trips rather, to use the R1 buses to make up for the lack of an LRT. So nearly 500 regular OC Transpo bus trips canceled to support R1 after the freezing rain last week. So if you had your bus trip canceled, you now know why.
Rings it around for Spitz. Jordan Spitz. Risha bounces back in front on the line. The touch scores. Brady gets
Coming up for us here on CTV News at 5, keeping those playoff hopes alive. Highlights from last night's dramatic Sens game ahead of this weekend's Battle of Ontario. Here's what else you need to know. Sing, dance, and celebrate the music of iconic Swedish pop group ABBA. SOS, the ABBA Experience, is coming to the Algonquin Commons Theatre this Saturday. Visit the venue's website for tickets. If you need gas heading into the weekend, one of the cheapest gas prices in the region today can be found at the Pioneer Station in Carleton Place. Regular gas there listed for 159.9 cents a litre. We'll be right back.
Pure Country 94. Ottawa's home for the best country music. Listen for your chance to win $50,000 with Pure Country's big $50K payday.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Current temperature -3 and a snowy start to spring. Time now for a look ahead to CTV News at 6. Here's Patricia Bull.
Thanks, Steph. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
Things started turning cold in November, and they've been cold in November, December, January, February, and my gosh, even March.
Well, as Steph said, we are marking the first day of a new season, and it looks a whole lot like the old one. Fresh snow in the capital today, though a special weather statement for the area has now ended.
You will recoup your costs. This will not be something you can gouge somebody on the secondary market for any longer.
Ontario moves to ban the resale of tickets for more than the original face value as ticket prices to high demand events soar on the resale market.
People can see that there's an objective record, whereas before there wasn't.
And Ottawa Police looking to expand the use of body-worn cameras among officers, as a city report says the program rollout is already making a difference. All of that and more is coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News with Heather Butts at 5:30. Steph.
Thank you, Patricia. Now the final 5 other stories we're following. 5 grocery stores across the country have been slapped with fines for mislabeling some products as Canadian. The list includes 2 Loblaw-owned stores in Ontario, both in the Toronto area. The company says it works hard to keep everything current, but there are times when signage might not be updated as quickly as inventory is replenished. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says it has issued $47,000 in penalties since last April for inaccurate or misleading country of origin claims.
I have never felt better after this juice detox, and I even lost 10 pounds. What you do is you drink apple juice for a full week straight.
Whoa, whoa, wait a minute. Is the family doctor?
A group of Canadian doctors are turning to social media to bust health myths. It's an initiative by the Canadian Medical Association, including physicians, nurses, and influencers aiming to tackle online misinformation through memes, movie clips, and humor. Their Instagram and TikTok handle is Healthcare for Real.
Rings it around for Spitz. Jordan Spitz. One reshot. Bounces back in front on the rack. Attack scores. Brady attack.
The Ottawa Senators at home last night, pulling off an exciting win with just 11 seconds left in the final period. Captain Brady Tkachuk netting that one, giving the Sens a win over the New York Islanders. The final score 3-2 for Ottawa. Playoff hope is still alive for the Sens as they get ready to take on the Leafs in a Battle of Ontario game tomorrow night. It's happening here at home. Puck drop is 7 p.m. NASA began moving its Artemis II rocket toward the launch pad at Cape Canaveral early today, meeting its planned target date for the rollout. The agency previously said that this was to maintain the opportunity for a launch attempt on April 1st. According to NASA, the movement to the launch pad could take up to 12 hours using the specialized transporter. The rollout is a major milestone as NASA prepares for its first crewed lunar orbit mission in over half a century. The calendar says spring, but with it looking and feeling more like winter out there, you can take advantage of an outdoor spring skate. The Rideau Hall rink is open for skating tonight until 8:30 p.m., as well as Saturday and Sunday afternoon and evening. Several other outdoor refrigerated rinks are also open, including the Rink of Dreams at Ottawa City Hall and the rink at Lansdowne Park. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Be sure to join Patricia Bull for CTV News at 6. The early edition of CTV National starts now.